Several wildfires are burning across the country. A total of 35 large fires have been reported in Alaska alone as of Thursday evening. More than a dozen other fires are currently burning from California to North Carolina. Now, climate change is making fires more frequent and intense due to drought and warmer weather. And the crews that fight them, well, they're feeling the toll. For more on that and what firefighters are facing, I want to bring in Kelly Martin. She's the president of the Grassroots Wildland Firefighters Association. So, Kelly, give us a sense of the condition that these firefighters are currently facing.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for having me tonight. You know, the fire seasons, especially the last 3 years, have just become relentless. This year is no different. It started quite early into May, and we're not even into the peak of our fire season. And we're asking our firefighters to do more and more with less and less. And it's just really becoming untenable in so many ways, given these large wildfires that we just can't seem to get ahead of anymore.
Yeah, you mentioned how intense and how early this is starting. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, there were nearly 59,000 wildfires in the U.S. last year, with more than 7 million acres burned. Are you assuming this year is going to be as bad, if not worse?
You know, it's always hard to tell exactly how the season's going to shape up, but just given how this season started, the peak of our season, our wildfire season, especially out west, really begins to kick in about the end of July, carries us all the way through August and into September. And we're asking that labor force to just continue to be on the front lines day after day, week after week, month after month. And it's really taken a toll. And we're really beginning to see it in a significant burnout. And a lot of people just resigning and just saying, you know, this is not the job that is tenable for them long term.
Yeah, this is not what a lot of people signed up for. So let's talk about what some of these firefighters need. The infrastructure bill that President Biden signed into law last year included a pay raise for wildland firefighters. Has that been enough?
You know, it's only a stopgap. You know, we were pleased that we were able to get $15 an hour. And if you really think about that, $15 an hour for a wildland firefighter is barely enough to even recruit quality individuals. So in the infrastructure law, what we had in there was a 50% wage increase or $20,000, whichever is less. And we really felt that for the risk and the consequences that these wildland firefighters make year after year because of accidents, illnesses, injuries, and lifetime disabilities, and even line of duty death, that kind of pay raise was absolutely required in order to keep the best and brightest on the fire line. So unfortunately, the money that was allocated in the bipartisan infrastructure law only lasts for about 2 years. So come 2024, we're going to be really facing yet another crisis because this short-term money is only going to last for the next 24 months.
Yeah, I've covered many wildfires, especially out here in the West, and what these firefighters do is just unbelievable. So they deserve every penny they're being paid. What more can the federal government and local and state governments do to support them?
You know, there's a lot of people on the front lines, a lot of women and men right now that are really battling some very, very tough conditions. You know, some of the things that we've been looking at, too, is housing. So there's been a number of situations where we find that firefighters are telling their story that they simply cannot afford rent, they cannot afford housing, and so they end up living out of their cars in campgrounds. And I really see this as an opportunity where state and local government can collaborate with the federal government to really start to think about how we can ease that housing shortages for these individuals, because many of them actually leave their families in their home state to travel to remote duty locations based upon the job that they've accepted for the summer. And oftentimes we're even hearing situations where rent is going up, federal government rent, government quarters is going up by over 100%. So the firefighters simply cannot continue to pay more to actually do this really dangerous job. So I think the housing piece is one of the resources that we can collaborate on, as well as really providing resources for mental health. And that's the other piece that we're advocating for as well as part of Grassroots.
Yeah, it seems like that's the least we can do given the sacrifices that they're making. Kelly Martin, our thoughts and our thanks are with you and all the firefighters out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us tonight. I really appreciate it.